We are live and we are back. Hello, hello, my beautiful people. Hello, body, mind, and soul connectors. We are back on our pop-up conversation, weekly conversations. We are here live. Excuse me. And today, of course, I have my beautiful co-hosts, Lorna and Michelle. Hello, my ladies. So good to see you. So good to be back. And today we're gonna do a special or different way of doing our pop-up weekly conversation. For those that are watching us and is your first time watching, hello, welcome to our Body, Mind, and Soul pop-up conversations. We usually come here every week to share some of the subjects that either we going through as entrepreneur or as business in our life, personal and professional life, and all the behinds things that people usually don't talk about. But today we want to do a little bit different. So what we're going to do today, for those that saw or witness or participate or watch the replay on the live of our grief summit this past weekend on Sunday, it was quite an impactful one. And what we decided is to, I think it's important even for us three to do a reflection of how he impacted us and how he impacted the people that watch. And if you watched it, please let us know. What were your thoughts? Is this came at the right time, at the right moment in your life? Because sometimes I feel like nothing happened for no reason. I know for some of us it touches profoundly and is a subject that it's a heavy, but I truly believe, and I know the girls are in the same mind with me, that we brought a little bit more light with the amazing speakers we had at this event. It definitely brought a bit of more light on this subject that people tend to push it away because it's not quite fun to talk about. And we do some reflections today about that. So, ladies, what was your reflection? What was your takeaways? What happened after? What happened during this quite interesting summit, the many faces of grief?
Lorna, you want
Michelle.
to go? Well, I was going to say I was really lucky this time to kind of experience it from the presenters, from the panelists' perspective as well. But as always, well, as our first one, but as anytime we have a group of people together, but particularly when it's a multifaceted, the many facets of grief was the topic, and whenever there's many facets and many minds, it's always amazing to me how our community just has this amazing way of networking together, and everyone shone, like whether it was managing death of a person or anticipatory death of a pet or death of your ego and identity or death of a relationship. And it wasn't necessarily all death focused, it was grief focused, and how the losses were different for each one, but also had similarities. And then the knowledge of each of the professionals that were with us to kind of weave together and really support. At no time did I feel like, ugh, like I was like, oh, it was sort of like inspiring and helpful and thought-provoking. And I know it landed in perfect timing for me. I didn't even realize I needed the awareness brought up for me about, oh yeah, there's this grief process going on for me. And it just afterwards, it triggered a bunch of things that were really, really super helpful and beautiful. So not only was it a beautiful experience and we had beautiful people, but it was a beautiful topic and had beautiful outcomes. So I thought it was great. How about you, Lorna?
I agree, all of that for sure. It was truly amazing and beautiful to watch, yeah, from the various facets and to see the common things of the speakers, yourself included, Michelle, of how of those situations have been used for growth, for awarenesses, for evolution, for shifting perspectives, for claiming and moving forward in a not a lessened way, but a magnified way, and how it really shows up in what people now are doing in their work with other people in the world, how it's really shaped that. So it was truly beautiful to be witness to and to be a part of the sharing. And I agree that there was no time where I felt like, oh, a heaviness. It just felt like there was a joy is the word that came through the whole time. There was a sense of joy in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not just the professional accreditations behind people, but the lived experience. Like
Oh,
these
yeah.
were people that, had been through their respective ringers, and had processed that and were really there to lend a hand to people who are amidst it now and might need that support. So it was really great to get their a sense of also what they do to support people, right? Their individual offers were pretty clear, and yeah, it was nice to get to know, like, and trust them, and see them in their element.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my favorite part was they weren't sharing just from, what they learn in a school, but I think the most important part they were sharing from their own stories because that's what is creates the
Mhm.
relational, the report between them as experts and someone else that is going through the same thing. I think it creates the bridge and breaks the gap between, oh, but they are coaches or they are speakers or they are whatever. And it breaks that gap and creates that bridge, but that brings them together to be like, oh, you're just a human like me. Doesn't matter what accreditations you have, doesn't matter who you are. I think that's why I love that we choose this subject because it's one that not too many people dare to talk about it because it's a very sensitive one. It has many, many facets. We didn't even touch all of them, and I don't think we can because it's very personal and unique to each person. And also, it's a subject that I think all of us, our intention were to bring a different light to it, to show, I know this is going to sound harsh, but the benefits of it.
Mhm.
Because I truly believe that is always a benefit in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, my biggest takeaway from all of this, and because like the geek in me, I want to learn the science behind it as well and what happening in your brain. I start doing some research and listening some specialists into this. And the biggest takeaway was for me that what is a lot of grief, it's a lot of love. The more grief, the more love. For me, the way I see it is that grief is actually a form of showing your love for
Mhm.
something that maybe that doesn't exist in the form that you were used to with and transform in a different form. But the love is so big that you think you don't know what to do with it anymore. But the love can continue. And that's why these beautiful
Mhm.
speakers at this event, they bring us through their stories and their expertise, the one that happened in and between and after, to remind us that we are here to experience this feeling, this sensation. It were given to us as a blessing to remind us that we have the opportunity to continue to love and hold love and give love in different varied forms to the people that we lost or the pets or the things or the identities into a different form
Mhm.
and not holding on just one specific way of giving love to those we lost.
Mhm.
And it was so thoughtfully, each person so thoughtfully presented it. And I think a lot of the times, like, we have walls up against grief and loss because we don't want to feel it, right? We don't want to go there. But the discussion that was so thoughtful and inspiring and personal, that it kind of drew you out into thinking about the topic. And I found that, I had been thinking about, my angle of grief, and but then as I was listening, it's like, oh yeah, there's these other angles. And yeah, that's how it came, the wall came down. And like you, it's sort of like, oh yeah, relationship grief, or other grief, this type of grief. I need to think about that, and where is that in my life? And then it like opened the window to be able to access it. And so that always unlocks a pot of gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
we
so
talked
true.
about even I love that we talk, I think Nancy was talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, about the anticipatory grief, so the preparation for it, because like all the beautiful ladies, they said in our panel, they said, it's not if, it's when. It happens, will happen sooner or later to all of us. Either we're the one that gonna experience with someone close to us, either we're gonna be beside someone that experience it in our life and we're there to support them, either we're gonna be the ones sooner or later somehow that someone else is gonna grieve over us.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that preparation, I love that idea of preparing yourself, understanding it, accepting a part of life, that is part of life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
one subject I'm just saying off the cuff here. I think one subject that I would love to speak on, and also would love to bring some amazing speakers on, is about that. Because that's a subject that is very avoided, but it's part of our life. It's the only certainty we all have, that we're all gonna die. And we keep avoiding that subject like it's not gonna happen to us. But that's another summit that
Yeah.
we can talk about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was thinking as I was listening, and as we've all been reflecting on the summit that we just had, I really love that we have felt moved in how we've gone with the panel style, to be able to present different questions and to hear our speakers share. And I want to just name them in terms of Nancy Gordon and Alex Neal, and we had Tanya
English.
English, and Georgianne was not able to be with us, Georgianne McDonnell, and then Michelle, you as well. So it was really great to be able to do that. And we'll tag each of them down there. And I love that we created it in panel style so that we could just have windows of time for everybody to circle around into and speak to each of the different questions and things that we brought forward to reflect on. And then at the end, that piece about when the speakers were just sharing, instead of responding to questions, we're in a discussion. And I really love the format that we're doing and that we've chosen, that we'll continue to do, is this the panel format, and also the aspect of keeping it to a small number. It's sometimes that idea that we can think like big numbers mean something. It's kind of like that sometimes meaning can get lost in big numbers as well. So to have it in these small, intimate things really allows for that opportunity for people to really open up and to share. And then the rawness and the realness that comes out. And we heard that even from our speakers as well, how they just really appreciated the connection and the realness. And it was just really a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Right? Because they started off all like we did some, like formal introductions and like then our little bits, but as the time progressed, it got more and more conversational, and then sharing, and by the end they were the ones having the great experience. So I'd love to make sure that everybody knows and we have posted and had great response for our next micro summit, and we are going to keep that same beautiful format that Lorna was just discussing. But I think this next time, I think we're going to be adding some secret sauce. So in addition to the free session that you're going to be able to get, we're going to be adding extra bonuses by bringing these experts on these topical areas together and really kind of knitting them together into a cozy, warm space where everybody knows each other. And then we're going to open it up in the VIP sessions. There'll be a VIP upgrade option for next session. And you can have a Q&A hot seat. you know, be in the Zoom room with the speakers, be able to ask them questions and do a Q&A hot seat. And then we're going to have breakout sessions with each of the panelists in their own respective facet of whatever topic, so that you'll be able to go, okay, I really need to talk with, you know, Dr. Tangla English or Nancy Gordon or, you know, all of the different speakers that are there. You can zoom in and say, oh, no, I need to go into the breakout session and really like listen to and get some value from those speakers directly with me on my personal topic. And it's going to be really cool. So we hope that you guys enjoy and come out to the next next session. Did I miss anything about that?
No, we are excited
Great.
to see who's gonna be part of our next ones. We already have aligned the next two.
Mhm.
The next two. So we try to keep it at one every month. So we are super excited. We have to align the team, the subjects for the next two. So we're super excited about that. We know it's always I personally learned so much from every single panelist that's coming and sharing their expertise, and doing the VIP. I think it's gonna create even more value for those that are participating, and it gives them more of that one-on-one build rapport with every single provider, where they feel more seen and heard, and they can get some even practical tools personalized for them, and that's going to be super exciting and fun.
Mhm.
And also we have our connection circle. We all know that if you're in this new, or you've been here, we do beside the summit that we do once a month, we have our connection circle. We'd love to have you there. If it's your first time, let us know. We're gonna drop the link to register for our connection circle. We have it every 2 weeks, every second Sunday, and also, of course, that will take you to the next level, which is an interview with one of us, a one-on-one interview where we dive deeper into your gifts and why you're doing what you're doing and how you serve the world. So that's about for us. Thank you so much. I see we have Dallas, Melissa, Adela, Patrick was watching and say hello. Thank you so much. We'd love to hear from you. If you're listening to our conversation and you want to watch the replay for our summit grief with the many facets of the grief, it's on the post. If you scroll on the post, you will see the link there. You can watch it. We have the recordings available for you there, and we're excited to see you on our next pop-up conversation next week. Until then, take care of you. Take care of your heart. See you again. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye for now.